centuries ago. To my faraway world. Here they were granted astounding powers and eternal youth. Then returned to Earth. Their mission to watch over the human race, helping the good in it to survive and flourish.
Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your agent of animated awesome, and the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. It is Monday. That means we are going to talk about the young Space Sentinels here.
History, their names has become legend. Hercules.
Symbol of power and glory.
Empowered with the strength of 100 men. Astrea, able to assume any Mercury, the amazing athlete who can match the speed of light. Working together with me, Sentinel 1, and my maintenance robot, Mo.
So, even at age 12, 12, I knew that Mo was lame. I mean, obviously, he's not really an R2-D2 ripoff, but I mean, he could have been a good character if he wouldn't have been always the comedy relief. It's my issue. I'll deal with it.
Guardians form the greatest team the world has ever known, the Space Sentinels.
All right, and let's get a little further in here. Before we get too much further, please like, share, subscribe, vote in the poll, leave a comment. And if you're watching, wherever you're watching or listening, please listen for at least a couple minutes. I'd really appreciate it. At least a couple minutes longer than you usually do. Really would help the algorithm. And hopefully we're going to do a lot less with sound today because it seems to work better. But got to have the beginning, right? So we open up here, starting with comedy relief already. And let's just scoot ahead a bit. Where we see that Mercury is playing baseball against himself and cheating. You can only take one run per hit. I mean, unless you have someone on the base. So he's managed to make the most boring game in the world to watch. I like playing baseball, but watching it, even worse, even more boring. So Astrea and Mo are flying a kite. Herc is growing his greens. And he did what I would have done. He goes and tags him out with the water. I find it funny. I mean, I just don't understand why he'd find this even remotely.
Out? Tag me with the watering can, Turkey. You're out. Safe. Out.
So we go on and on. Fortunately, this doesn't last too long because the Earth shakes. And we don't know why just as of yet. However, we're about to find out. I mean, do they not realize what a drilling mole looks like? It could be... Oh, geez, I wish I'd have remembered what took us down to Pellucidar. I mean, and they're obviously not in Iceland on Mount Sneffels. Zap, there she goes. Now they're worried. So, what happens is they got to go find Astrea. So this is called. Well, let me silence a bit. Looks like they're going to Iceland, doesn't it? This episode, the 9th one, is called Voyage to the Inner World. So right away we know that despite them being in a volcano, S1 tells them what's going on here.
Magnetic activity. That it was magnetic energy that pulled Astrea into that ship. Affirmative. And from an extremely powerful source.
Any clue where that ship was from?
A scan of my memory banks reveals the legend of an ancient underground civilization.
So, called
the Inner World.
So our heroes are about to take a journey to the center of the Earth. Not quite. And they're definitely not going to the Earth's core. They're just going down to an actual city. Now, cities, there's still some people believe that the Earth is hollow because people are morons. But some people. And these kind of stories, obviously, Jules Verne wrote at the Earth's core. Jules Verne wrote Journey to the Center of the Earth, in the 18th century. At the Earth's Core was written in the early 20th century, and there have been tons of adaptations and things based on both books. Not that, and I don't even know, there could be, Theseus went down to Hades, which was in the underworld. Many people went to Niflheim, or Helheim, pardon me, not Niflheim, to rescue people or talk to hell, if you will. So, once again, this is nothing new. But they're using lasers to get to the underground, which is a little new because usually it's just a giant drill. So they're going to rescue Astria. Now, this is one of those shows or episodes. You can already tell that especially being in the late 70s, that they're not really going to be villains per se, but something dreadful is happening and they need Astria, and they didn't bother to ask anybody. I kind of the ship is a great looking ship.
Distance to inner world, now 951.2 miles.
Oh, now we're into miles. We had been in kilometers. So let's skip forward ahead, and we'll get to the inner city.
The engines are heating up. So are my circuits!
Stand by. When polarity reverses, we will be pulled forward at great speed.
Well, there goes the third Doctor reversing the polarity. Wouldn't surprise me if S1 had been to Gallifrey or the Sentinels themselves. In fact, the Doctor may be a Sentinel. We just never know. Not an earthly one, but... Oops. So it's reversing the polarity, and now we'll go... There we go.
For size, and they don't have any weapons.
Yeah, and they're always the worst kind. We can't go in there without a plan.
Merc has a plan. He's just going to go knock him out. So this episode premiered on November 5th, 1977. Your humble agent was about 12 and a half, thinking himself a very sophisticated science fiction and cartoon expert. I did really look down upon a lot of these late 70s and early 80s shows because they were not very action-packed. They didn't have people getting punched out, which is what superheroes are supposed to do to the bad guys. Just ask Batman. However, I watched these, they're 22 minutes or so, and the animations looks really nice. I've said this before, and the stories are good. This was written by Jerry Winnick, who does not have a hyperlink on his name, so I don't know what else is going on here.
Astria's brainwaves to carry on the job.
No way! S1!
So I've kind of missed their introduction to... they're thrown in jail. They've been caught. They're thrown in jail.
You are in the palace dungeon. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Aurania, the Queen's Counsel.
The Queen's Counsel?
Okay, so Aurania was voiced by Linda Gary, who uncredited in this one. She started out, oddly enough, in 1978, same year. Actually, that's the Spectre Man was made in 71, which is why it's at the bottom of there. But she did voiced Walla, one of the women, in Spectre Man for 26 episodes. I don't know which one. I've seen the entire series, but they rotate women characters out regularly on that show, and I can't figure it out. All right. So she has done a lot of voiceover work. Her resume is extensive, and starting with My Name is Rocco Papaleo, in 1971, and then just continuing through the 70s. She voiced the Web Woman from Tarzan and the Super 7. I mean, really, Spectre Man is the most fun thing to notice. She was in Tarzan Lord of the Jungle for 36 episodes. Did voices on Plastic Man. The Spider-Man from 1981 to 82. She was Colleen, whoever that was. Once again, I've seen the entire show. She did 13 episodes of The Dukes as Foreign Agent Anna. Probably Anna. Just many. I mean, you look at her IMDb, she did a lot. Queen Morbidia, 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which I kind of want to see, but it's got Scrappy in it, and we talked about Scrappy. She was in Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, not the real Ghostbusters. I mean, she was a regular in She-Ra and He-Man. Just tons. She worked steadily until her last role was in 1994, where she voiced Aunt May Parker in Spider-Man the Animated Series, until she passed away of, I think, a brain tumor is what it says. So bless you, Linda. You were a talent, and you did a great job.
We're in the middle of enemy territory.
Have secured a fix on your location. Stand by.
That's a lot of Zep in there. It's a good thing S1's around. I mean, he really should be, getting a proper name. So there's Arania.
Super. We're right behind you.
So the thing is, the Queen is the only one that can run, and they're going to transfer Astria's brainwaves into the Queen to revive her and give her power to keep the heat shield operating. Which is what I said. Instead of just asking for some help and a different solution, they go about this. The Queen looks vaguely familiar to me, but I mean, like, she's almost evil. But she does manage to take enough of Astria's brainwaves to be able to turn into that thing, which, if you noticed, I may use it as it's tricky here. So S1's going to fix her by replacing the missing brainwaves or something. Again, 1978 children's television. You can't really look at it too much. So the Queen's right behind, trying to get in there. And, there she goes. Zap, the brainwaves go back. Once again, it's that whole, why didn't you just ask? We do our best to help you. And they didn't. So they have to go stop the Queen, and they really stop the Queen. And you can tell that Astrea here is the...
She's changed into some kind of weird beast, and she's trying to tear the ship apart.
Even though Hurt could be out there battling her, and he would be these days, until they...
Up to it.
I'm okay. Get ready to follow me out.
Yeah, she's the leader. Look, she turns into the Midgard Serpent almost. Apparently, Moe's never seen her do that before. There, notice. Oops, let me go back here a minute. So, I mean, really, she's just the constrictor. There, right there. The Queen's got a Thagomizer on her at the end of her tail. Or it could be a Mercury or a miser, but it's a Thagomizer. However, she didn't absorb all of Astria's brainwaves, so I wonder what happened. But they stop her, and...
My strength, it's fading. Astria, you must let me complete the brainwave transfer. I can't do that, and you know it. Queen Dakari, no one can live forever. But the protective shell over our city, we will manage somehow. Without me, never.
She's a little set in her ways and probably a little too used to power. It's sad when you hear that. But I could not find any name for or who did the Queen. Oops. Control Shift T, pardon me. Let me go back over here. A lot of people were never credited, like Alan Oppenheimer and Erica Scheimer. Oh, really? That's pretty much, Ted Cassidy wasn't credited. So, no, this could have been Erica, or it could have been Linda doing a double role. It says she did 5 episodes. But it's not going to tell me what 5 episodes. Yeah. Oh, it is. Yes, she did do it. So I will have to remember to click that little down button. So there's Linda doing a double roll there. And so the end here is pretty interesting for a 70. Remember, this is 1978.
Your queen is dead.
And the temperature's already rising.
How are we going to keep that heat shield from collapsing?
Well, fortunately, Orania is the smartest person there. She's the lead scientist. I did miss that. I'm sorry. But it's amazing they all can. S1 must have a universal translator in those gauntlets. They also, that's how they are protected from the heat and the pressure being that far beneath the Earth's crust. So, and S1's going to help. But it's, it's just this whole, just ask us for a little help and we'll help you.
The amplifier mode into the transmitter.
Maintenance operator.
So, and without Mo, Mo could be, if they could have computerized his voice a bit too. I think that would have helped a lot because it might, made him a little, the whole being in love with that Astria thing is just weird. I still, at this age, I find it weird. We thought it was funny back then, my brother and I. And look, it worked.
You've saved our lives.
He does have it.
And our world, young Sentinels. How can we thank you? A lot of the credit is
The young Space Sentinels.
glad we could help.
Our world needs people like you. Won't you stay a while?
Thanks, but our home is the surface world.
Now, I wonder how big this city is, because it doesn't seem like they'd have it must be pretty big, or their gene pool would, kill them.
Little Mo.
And then once again, had the show gone on for another season, another 13 episodes, they could have come back here. This would have been fun. All right. And that's it. So our episode for today, if you'll notice, I was able to do a little insert of a card, a title card, which is kind of fun. I've never done that before. We did defeat Shocker, so we are getting a double duty here today. And until our next assignment, this is X7 signing off.